Every real estate journey is unique. That's why we created the AOF Real Estate Team, a full-service solution built to support you at every stage. Whether you're building wealth through strategic investments, need hassle-free property management, or want to maximize your sale price as a Scott McGilvery trusted team, we've assembled all key services under one roof. First-time buyer or seasoned investor, our dedicated client success team ensures your experience is seamless from start to finish. At AOF, we make real estate simple, profitable, and stress-free. The AOF Real Estate Team, your journey, our expertise.
All right, everybody, welcome to the AOF Monthly Update. My name is Kellen. I got Drew Kardash, Kevin Rahoman. Gentlemen, always a pleasure. What's going on out there in the Edmonton market here, February of 2026?
Well, I will tell you that the market is not as hot as the weather we've been having here lately, but it is still warm, and that's a good thing. Alona's not here to go over stats, so I'm going to do this again this month. But overall, in the market right now, what we're seeing, we've got new listings up 4.7%, but sales are down 27.6 year over year from this time last year in January or February, sorry. Months of inventory right now, we're looking at 4.3 months of inventory. So we're back, still in that more balanced mode than we've seen in the past couple of years. Average sale price still up 2.5% year over year. And in the segments, the detached, semi-detached, row houses, and condos, we have not seen that much movement in the detached side. It's down 0.1%. Semi-detached has not moved at all. Row townhouses are down 9.2% from last year. But the clear winner here is condos and apartments are up 9.9% year over year. This is something we haven't seen in a long time. Days on market, slightly from last year, 59 days on market right now, as opposed to 48 days on market this time last year. Now, one interesting thing was a few of us went to the 2026 housing forecast, where they get all of the Edmonton board together. They get CREA to come out and they talk about where things are going for this year. And we're seeing some stabilization from previous years of tumultuous times, but we're not seeing a retraction. What they speculate is that we're going to see more of a calm period in 2026 compared to what we've had over the last couple of years. And I think just with the stats that I've read out here, you can kind of see that shaping up to be a little bit more of a calm period.
Yeah.
I like calm. I like calm.
Yeah, well, hey, calmness is okay when you go from, like you said, tumultuous or just that momentum to stability. I also, you kind of zoom out and you take a look, as you mentioned, we're in a hot spot right now in regards to weather. Is spring sprung already? It's hard to say. I'm sure we're still, getting prepared for some colder temps and some snow again. But, that winter cycle, when you kind of combine that shift in the market more towards that stability side, combined with winter months in Alberta, which we typically see things slow down anyway. So it'll be interesting over the next couple months if, this shift in the temperature in that side of things would contribute to any shifts in maybe an early spring market, or just a lot of people circling back on opportunities. It has been, again, not necessarily specific to investors that are local, but I have had a lot of new conversations or reconnections with investors that are maybe starting to read in between the lines on some of the media that's out there on the Canadian housing market, and seeing that, okay, maybe this stable market here in Edmonton is something that's attractive, where rents are down pretty large in a lot of areas, where we're seeing that stability in Edmonton, even with the amount of supply that has been coming on with record-setting years of new construction starts last year. But at the same time, it's needed. There's still people, the intra-provincial migration numbers, I don't have an exact stat, but I reading a couple articles, it's still staying consistent. So the need is there, and for new houses, for rental properties, everything's still there. But, speaking to those statistics, exactly like that shift to that stability, it's interesting to hear, like you said, condos is, speaks to the affordability side too.
Yeah.
There's attraction there for people looking for affordable homes. And, that's something that we've been talking about for, a long time here in Edmonton. Is affordability.
I think for some reason that is the best kept secret about Edmonton, but it really shouldn't be. Affordability is what drives the Edmonton market. It's why we're getting so much interprovincial migration. It's not necessarily just related to jobs, and that's obviously been a great thing here too. But affordability, when I've spoken to buyers that have moved here from Ontario or BC, which we've had a lot of them over the last couple of years. The number one reason is affordability. They want to have a home with 3 bedrooms, at least 2.5 baths. Some of them of our clients have moved here that have invested in real estate because they were tired of their rental properties being nicer than their homes back in their markets. So really excited. I am seeing some increased showing activity. It's that first fake spring alert that we have where everything starts to melt here in Edmonton. We that live here know that winter's still going to be here and it's not going to just disappear overnight. But it's usually like that first alarm bell that's like, oh my God, the things are heating up. I should think about real estate again. So we're seeing more increased showing activity. Buyers are out there. The buyers that are looking today are very motivated. So it's, you don't go out and, concern yourself with slipping on a sidewalk right now and whatnot, unless you're really looking for a home. So it's been really good. I'm also excited. Obviously, we're the best kept secret, but you guys in other markets get to cheer on McDavid on your team this time. So you'll know what it feels like to be a Edmontonian. So if you watch the Olympics and you see Connor skating down and it gives you that unlimited excitement that we get to experience, if you like it, you should give us a call because we can find you something here or help you invest in something and you can feel like Connor's on your team all the time.
Like that real Kev, that's the John Hamm in the club, with the.
Oh yeah, I actually did
you know
that.
the feeling. You know the feeling.
I did that. Luke, overlay that video right now.
Oh yeah, love it. Oh yeah, good stuff. Yeah, no, even just kind of bringing up some stats too on the employment side of things, because again, that's a huge driver. And when we talk about a lot of the media that you would see is obviously looking on the national perspective of like where things are going. And we had even made comments in the past about sometimes the influence that has on the interest rates, and specifically with when you're looking at commercial financing on the mortgage bonds. And in December, there was some positive releases about job growth and unemployment going down, but just an interesting kind of stat here on the just employment in general in Alberta, where compared to 24, there was an increased growth rate in Alberta of 2.8% against the national average, which was 1.4%. Alberta, this is from the, I should kind of cite this as ATB. They do a 24/7, it's called, release every single day, but this is from last month. Just an interesting one here. Alberta, in fact, accounted for 24% of the national increase. About double its share of the Canadian population. And what's kind of unique about this too is most of the net gain in Alberta was full-time work. 92% of that increase. So, and these aren't just the part-time.
That's an amazing stat.
That is amazing.
Yeah. And it goes into your point you brought up earlier, like when it drives me nuts when we look at the real estate market as a national real estate market because it's so regional. And that's why we're showing more stability here and why it's a really good place to invest in right now, because our economy and what's going on here is a lot different than 3 provinces to the east of us or whatnot. So what you might be experiencing in your own market might be completely different in another market. And trust us, we know there was a time in Alberta where things were not great and it was great in every other province. So when you talk to people in those provinces, they just assume the market was hot everywhere when it wasn't here. So it's kind of nice to when you're looking at your investment properties and opportunities, make sure you look a little bit deeper into the statistics and stuff like that, because the correlation of different markets are completely different from one another. So it's definitely something to dig into a little bit more.
Well,
That's a
even
great
within our own
point.
province, you know,
Yeah.
that's we were talking about Calgary and Edmonton. It's where are those trends leading? And right now, that's where the stability is king right now, especially when we're talking about the real estate side of things over the past, call it decade. Well, you can zoom in on the micro year over year, last couple years, last 5 years. But yeah, it is something that we definitely talk about a lot, but it's because it's out there, it's true, and it's just sometimes it's hidden in between the lines in those reports that get sent out for national averages, and from whether it's the Canadian or CMHC, or whether it's just any media outlet. Yeah, it's a lot of doom and gloom, but sunny out here.
Well, and
Sunny out here, sunny and
we've
stable.
always, stability is the word of the day today, but it's been the word of the forever for us and this AOF real estate team. Any offerings that we provide, we're not really going for the high risk, high reward kind of thing. We're looking for more predictable, stable, um, we joke about it, but boring. So I want my client to go to sleep at night and not have to think about, am I getting my rent tomorrow? What's going on with my property? I want them to not even think about it. If I succeeded in that, they are going to be very happy with their properties. And Edmonton historically has been very stable in the long haul. So the offerings that we go through, and there's different parts of the city that we could bring a little bit more high risk, and might look better cash flow on the performa, but that's if everything goes right. And so
Mhm.
we'll always make sure we explain that to our clients. We definitely lean more on the cautious, more careful side, and we think that's an important aspect of a good deal.
Isn't that what Don Campbell used to say all the time? I keep my investments boring and my life exciting. Like that boils it down right there.
He's a genius, I
Put
must
that
Genius.
on the
say.
board. I like it. Well, I love bouncing ideas, seeing where things are at, kind of boots on the ground here with the team. But I think we've just given ourselves a layup now into this month's AOF Burning Question.
It's AOF Burning Questions. AOF Burning Questions.
Nice.
So, we get this again through organic conversations with prospects, but oftentimes it's always unique, like when we get new followers to the channel or through the socials, and it's like, why should I invest in real estate? And there are so many pathways you could talk about this, and relative questions that are connected to that, but all encompassing. Like, I think it's just a really good question. Like, why should I invest in real estate?
And I think this is a good question. And I know what the listeners are thinking right now. This is like going into a barber shop asking if you need a haircut. But I will tell you that we are all investors ourselves. So
What
we
are you
believe in
saying?
this. I'm saying that's a great haircut. But what I'm saying is we're not trying to sell you real estate because we're trying to sell you real estate. We're trying to sell you the idea of what real estate can do for you, and the three big reasons why I believe in real estate are cash flow, appreciation, and leverage. Cash flow, obviously, you want to buy something that's cash flowing right from day one or as soon as from day one as possible, meaning your expenses are lower than the income that you're bringing in. Your appreciation, Kevin touched on it already. Edmonton's kind of a blue chip. We consider this a blue chip stock. You're not going to see big, fancy appreciation out of Edmonton. You're going to see stability. You're going to see, incrementally moving upwards, but you're also going to see the rents going up equally. incrementally and just kind of keeping above that cash flow zero type of area. And then the third one's leverage. What other investment can you put, between 75% and 95%, or can you borrow between 75% and 95% of the value of that asset and have somebody else pay for it? Have somebody else borrow you that money. So now you're going in with minimal investment.
Yeah.
Those are the three big reasons for me.
And those are great points. And like, we're talking about this earlier, but like, I like to just simplify it. If you're watching this, you're likely a homeowner, and that letter you get from the bank that shows your mortgage pay down at the end of the year, and you've never not felt great when you get that. It's like a pat on the back. Well, when you have other people pay those mortgages down, so when you're getting multiple letters and you see that mortgage pay down and none of it was your money, it is an addicting feeling, and it's what investors chase, is that mortgage pay down. And yes, that goes back to cash flow, appreciation, all those factors. But if you can have other people create wealth for you, and you're also helping those people too, you're giving them affordable living and whatnot, it's just a special feeling that you can do that is safe, predictable compared to the stock market. Real estate can be volatile in a 1 or 2 year period, but if you look in a 5 or 10 or 15 year window, it's always stable, it always goes up. So if you want to you know take advantage of this and have your money work faster for you, and more consistently for you, I think real estate's the perfect vehicle for that.
Yeah, and diversification, right? Like that's a huge component of investing, and it's another vehicle. And then, it's not directly, I guess, attached to like why invest in real estate, but then, how do you do that? And that's where, we that's kind of our duty. We've gone through that experience in the past on the personal side, as well as connecting investors with these opportunities over the years in the Edmonton market. And yeah, I don't have really too much more to add, guys. There's Drew and Kev, thank you. Like that was very insightful from both of you. But it's I feel like you said, for a lot of the listeners, whether they're even existing clients, homeowners, investors, first time watching, like these are the kinds of conversations and things that we love to have with individuals, and to see, like, is it going to be for everybody? No, maybe not. But hey, if you are interested, I imagine if you're watching, especially at this juncture of the video, you
If
probably have
you've
some
made it this
interest in
far, yeah.
You're
exactly.
committed.
You're committed. And so, yeah, we can get in touch and again, talk about what those opportunities look like, because there is no one size fits all either.
Mhm.
Opportunity wise, in product location, like you mentioned, Kev, the financing strategies and structures, like there's so many different ways that you can make this work for yourself. It's just a matter of learning a little bit of the fundamentals and aligning that with your strategy to create wealth. Like
And
that's
the
the
right
plan.
professionals too, like aligning yourself. Like we're getting, every year that goes by, it seems like just owning your own personal residence is becoming a privilege, not just like the norm. So
Hmm.
when you're in the opportunity to own investment properties, you got to take advantage of it, because there's going to be more renters and more renters over time. And we're really blessed to be in this position to own our own real estate or investment properties. So uh you know give yourself a pat on the back if you're looking at this, because not everyone's thinking about this all the time. But you're already ahead of the curve if you're watching a podcast like this, and you found the right kind of people to connect you with the right types of lenders, or property types, or off market opportunities. So really all you need is some time, and we can go through everything and explain it and really help you hold your hand through the whole process.
I love it. All right. Well, hopefully that provides an answer to everybody's
Go
burning
Canada, go.
question. Yeah. It's a fun time. I think back to Olympics of past, like it's always nice when they're in the same time zone as us, but I've got my calendar, better clear out no calls or anything or appointments for Thursday morning here, so get that first Canada-Czechia game on. But anyway, yeah, it's fun times. The Olympic every 4 years get to watch some pretty fun sports. Watched a little of that mixed doubles curling yesterday. Little ice dancing, figure skating. It's pretty cool. These
I haven't caught any yet. I gotta get on track with that, but I'm excited to catch some here in the near future.
Yeah. Well, we all lead busy lives too, so it's can't say I'm spending 6 hours a day in front of the TV watching it, but it's still fun to tune in when you can. But and then are we glazing over the Super Bowl? I can't say I.
Yeah, that was pretty boring, so we won't even touch on it.
All right.
All right, guys. Well,
love it. Appreciate your guys' time. Thank you to all the listeners, and feel free. Maybe your question could be the next one on the AOF Burning Question. So send us a note. We'd love to get in touch. Have a good one, boys.
It's
Awesome.
simple
Thanks.
as 1, 2, 3. AOF's got the recipe. Simple as can be. Trust in us and you will see. We make real estate easy. So easy, believe me. We're here to serve, give you what you deserve. All under one roof, that's our proof. It's still the last one to me.